You're paying extra for air at McDonald's. Large fries often land in a bigger red box with barely more fries than a medium. Tests and side-by-side orders keep showing it. And a single McMuffin, priced so close to the meal that you're leaving hash browns and a drink on the table. Stay with me and I'll show you two simple switches that flip the script. The fry order that gets you more, hotter, and crisper for less. And the breakfast move that doubles value using the app. Once you see it, you won't unsee it. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. Let's start with the fry you think is an upgrade. That big red box sells the feeling of more. The truth is, you're often paying for cardboard and the same handful you'd get in a medium. Here's the claim in plain terms. Large fries often land close to a medium because of scoop variance and carton geometry. Crew grab a metal scoop, dump, and move. Speed is the job. The carton is taller, so the top looks full even when the base isn't packed. That's the container size effect pairing with unit bias. You see a larger unit and your brain says better deal, even if the extra isn't there.
Fast food companies and other food processors drive down the cost of food relentlessly and force economies of scale and efficiencies, or what are called efficiencies, on farming. And I'll just give you one example.
The McDonald's breakfast has got to be one of fast food's most beloved institutions. But how do the restaurant's many choices actually stack up against each other? From the newest additions to the McMuffin that started it all, we've compiled the list of McDonald's breakfast menu items and ranked them worst to best.
If you go to McDonald's, anywhere in the world, you will find French fries, or chips as you call them, and you will find that they're always made from the same potato, the russet Burbank potato. This is a potato from America that's unusually long.
McDonald's introduced the sausage burrito all the way back in 1991, so you'd think they'd have it perfected by now, but apparently not. Sure, the tortilla is fine, but as you bite into the burrito, you get the strangest mix of flavors: egg, sausage, chilies, and a whole bunch of black pepper.
Marketing says more. Side-by-side orders and simple pour tests keep showing a slim gap or none at all. You don't need lab gear. You need a tray. Do a tray test. Dump a large on one side, then two mediums on the other. Two mediums often spread wider, edge to edge. The eye test beats the box. There's a reason it swings this way. Fast service training prioritizes speed over exact gram counts. During rush, scoops get quicker, settles are lighter, and large cartons leave underfilled. Mediums turn faster, so they come from hotter batches. More pull-through means more crisp fries, less steam slump, and fewer limp ends. Now add the pricing play. The step from medium to large is engineered to feel tiny, low friction, high margin. You tap large without thinking because the bump looks small. That's the upsell doing what it was built to do. So what do you want? More fries, better texture, no big box tax. Order two mediums instead of one large. On average, you get more fresher fry, and they stay crisp longer because they're not trapped in a steamy tall wall.
And difficult to grow, but that's what they want, because when you're McDonald's, you like those red boxes with a little bouquet of very long chips. It looks really good, and so they insist that all their potatoes be russet Burbank.
At the same time, you're munching on soft, runny eggs, coming together to create a weird and lackluster experience. And it's no huge surprise this doesn't work either, considering there are actually more than 40 ingredients in the sausage burrito. You've got to ask, why on earth would you need so many?
And they further insist that they have no blemishes at all. There's a very common defect of russet Burbank potatoes called net necrosis. And you've seen potatoes with a little brown line sometimes, or spots that come through it. Well, McDonald's won't buy them if your potatoes have that.
McDonald's debuted the Chicken McGriddle sandwich for testing in certain franchises in August 2019. And well, so far, so bad. It's two McGriddles with the McChicken patty in the middle, and that's kind of it. And while the flavor combo of syrup-flavored bread and chicken seems like it could work in theory,
and with app deals, two mediums often match or beat one large on price. Check the app first, then make the swap at the counter. Now let's move on to breakfast, where the single item trap gets even costlier, and the menu layout turns a quick bite into a quiet markup that most people never see. Breakfast is where the quiet markup hits hardest. The single McMuffin sits on the board like the light, cheap choice. You grab it on the run, no sides, no fuss. That's the habit. Feels thrifty. It is not. Here's the tension. That lone sandwich often lands just a sliver under the meal price. For a few more coins, the meal hands you hash browns and a drink. Real food left on the table when you go single. You're paying near meal money and getting less. This is not an accident.
And the only way to eliminate that is to eliminate an aphid. And the only way to do that is with a pesticide called Monitor that is so toxic that the farmers who grow these potatoes in Idaho won't venture outside into their fields for 5 days after they spray.
It still comes across as possibly the weirdest pairing of flavors McDonald's could have come up with. Obviously, chicken and waffles are all the rage right now, but this one totally misses the mark. At first bite, it's actually kind of delicious, but then the black pepper hits, and suddenly everything falls apart.
And then when they harvest their potatoes, they have to put them in these atmosphere-controlled sheds the size of a football stadium because they're not edible for 6 weeks. They have to off-gas all the chemicals in them. So you see the desire for a certain kind of chip.
This is a great example of a genius idea with poor execution. The best way to describe the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit is probably dry, very dry. Sure, the biscuit is buttered and it's fluffy enough too, but the boring folded egg is way too big and overpowers the sandwich.
Menus use bundle architecture. Singles get priced high. Meals get framed as the better deal. Choice architecture steers you toward the box that helps the margin. You feel smart for saving with the bundle. The pricing made sure of it. Do a simple compare. One sandwich at the single price versus the meal. The gap is slim, small enough that you forfeit a big share of value in sides and drink. Half your potential value? That's not far off when the drink and hash browns are the thing that fills you up. Now add the app. Targeted offers push BOGO, $1 add-ons, and make it a meal nudges. One tap and that single becomes 2 sandwiches or a full tray for barely more. The numbers change fast. The cheap solo buy stops looking cheap. There's also a quality kicker. Breakfast runs on a tight clock. Hash browns drop fresh in waves. Drinks are pulled to order. Meals line up with that cadence so the heat and texture land better. The single sandwich? It is often the item that sits a touch longer in the chute. So here's the move you can use every time. Always check the meal and the app before you buy a single McMuffin. Take the meal or the BOGO, stash the second sandwich for later, and step around the single item tax.
Leads to a certain kind of agriculture. But the other thing on the health side, when I started learning about nutrition, about which, by the way, much less is known than you might think, that the scientific understanding of nutrition is still...
Luckily, this sandwich is made better with the addition of melted American cheese, but it still doesn't completely fix the dryness problem. The ratio of other ingredients to the thick biscuit just doesn't make for the ideal composition.
Now you know the 2 switches, 2 mediums over 1 large, and meal or app over single. The rest of the board starts to shift in your favor. The real kicker is simple: the box and the bundle. A taller carton and a meal label sound harmless, but they lift cash from your pocket with small nudges you barely notice. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who still orders the large. Help them keep their fries and their money. Next time you're at the counter, run the switch. 2 mediums, not 1 large. And never buy the McMuffin without checking the meal and the app. Screenshot the receipt before and after. You'll see the numbers change. Small pivots, real savings, same line, same time.